Greetings, warriors, veterans, and America-loving citizens from sea to shining sea. Welcome to Frontlines of Freedom. I'm Colonel Denny Gillem. Thanks for joining us.
We're going to do something a little bit different today. This is Lieutenant JG Mike Cardinalli, and we have the trifecta for Denny Gillem.
Huh?
It's his 71st birthday, it's the 48th year from him graduating from West Point, and it's the 5th anniversary for Frontlines of Freedom.
You make me sound old.
Well, I won't go there.
Glad to be here, I hope. West Pointer Paula Broadwell has written a book on the good general. Welcome to Frontlines of Freedom, Paula.
Thanks for having me here. It's a pleasure to join you.
Well, as a fellow West Pointer, what got you to go to West Point? What in your background drove you there?
Well, I was interested in becoming a diplomat.
At the Navy SEAL Fitness Challenge, back at the Aquatic Center, SEAL Chief Hathorn is about to speak to a group which has just finished their run. Let's listen in.
One of the things, my dad was in the Navy, and when I joined the Navy, he told me something that stuck with me for a long time, and he said, don't see the world from the window of a bar.
Joining us to talk about their present and future role is the Chief of the U.S. Army Reserves, Lieutenant General Jack Stoltz.
But I tell you, Denny, it's tough. It's hard to take the uniform off. Like I tell soldiers every day, you can take it off, but you can't take it out of your heart. You'll always be a soldier.
Sir, I retired 25 years ago, and I'm every bit as much a soldier today as I was back then.
Now, that's why I've been pushing this theme of soldier for life.
Yes, sir. All I can speak is that you couldn't get it out of me. You couldn't beat it out of me. And I know my wife has a couple of times tried to cast out the military spirit, and it just won't go. 2 weeks ago this weekend, members of the 507th Engineer Battalion of the Michigan Army National Guard left their home base in Kalamazoo to go first to Fort Bliss, Texas for about 45 days of intensive training, and then on to Afghanistan. I was at their farewell ceremony and taped interviews with many of the brave Americans there. Let's hear from them. Everybody else can do their thing, but only if they have the parts, and they don't have anything unless you deliver it.
Yes, that's correct. Actually, without us, the battalions and the other companies around us pretty much can't function without us.
Interview the skipper of the USS Cole, the U.S. warship that was attacked by Muslim suicide bombers while it was refueling in the Yemen port of Aden on 12 October 2000. Here we go.
I was sitting at my desk doing routine paperwork that morning when at 11:18 there was an absolutely thunderous explosion. You could feel all 505 feet and 8,400 tons of guided missile destroyer quickly and violently thrust up into the right. Lights went out, the ceiling tiles came out, everything on my desk popped up about 1 foot and slam bagged down. Very quickly, I knew we'd been attacked. I went back into my darkened cabin, opened the safe where I kept the keys to the missiles, the torpedoes, and the guns, and I pulled out a 9mm, loaded it, chambered around, decocked it, and grabbed 2 clips of ammunition, took a deep breath with 2 things on my mind: defend my ship and defend my crew.
Our theme today is leadership. Joining me now for much of the rest of the show is one of the finest leaders in the Army, maybe the best one they've ever had, retired Lieutenant General Julius Becton.
And I might add that we had some of the finest soldiers and officers available. Proof of the pudding is at least 12 of my officers ended up as 4-star generals. I think that covers about what I did and where I came from.
Yes, sir. By definition, the leader is always training his replacement and helping people go far, aren't they?
You got it.
Today we're going to discuss H2H Veterans Job Fair, recently held in Grand Rapids. These job fairs are being held all over the nation. Joining me to discuss this is Frontlines of Freedom's executive producer is Air Force vet Josh Leng.
I'm here with Greg from GE Aviation Systems, known formerly as Smith's Industries in Grand Rapids. And tell us about why you're here at this Veterans Career Fair and what you're looking for.
GE as a corporation is committed to hire 1,000 veterans per year for the next 5 years as part of the Hero to Hiring and Chamber of Commerce activities.
Ambassador John Bolton. The ambassador, in my not-so-humble opinion, is the most knowledgeable person in America on foreign affairs. Welcome back to the show, Mr. Ambassador.
Well, thank you very much for having me again. Glad to be with you.
Now it's time to discuss, to me, the most riveting biography I've ever read. Fearless, the story of Adam Brown, a member of SEAL Team 6 who died in action. The author is Engr Bn. Welcome to Frontlines of Freedom, Eric.
Thank you so much for having me, sir.
Eric, I think you were the first journalist ever to accompany and keep pace with an Army Ranger unit on a training mission. Is that right?
Yeah, back in '99, before the whole embedded media thing came into vogue, I got to hang out with the platoon, the Black Sheep platoon up out of Washington, and yeah, they beat me into the ground.
And the Navy SEAL Fitness Challenge is concluded. This was one of the most exciting events of my career in broadcasting. I loved every minute of it. I hope you did too.